I once said that if I ever got married, it would only be to Su Wanchin. But after the rebirth, I was a completely different person. Everyone in Shungjin knew that I was obsessed with her. I had personally declared that I wouldn't marry anyone except Su Wanchin. However, after being reborn, I decided to marry her younger sister. This was because in my past life, I had given my entire heart and soul to Wanchin. After much difficulty, I finally married her. But for 50 years after the wedding, I lived a lonely life. On our golden wedding anniversary, I accidentally walked into the room she never let anyone enter, and what I saw shattered my world. A picture of her cousin was hanging on the wall. Only then did my blind eyes finally open. She never loved me. But this time, on the day of my engagement, the same woman came to me in a disheveled state, crying and begging me to return to her. On the third day of my engagement, I met Su Wanchin at a party. Her best friend, upon seeing me, mocked, "Wanchin, look, your obsessed lover is back after you again. Little brother-in-law, your engagement is already fixed with the Su family, yet you are still hovering around her like this? You even showed up at the same party where Sister Wanchin is." Su Wanchin was even more irritated when she saw me. "Nian Chao, are you that desperate to marry me? Both families fixed the engagement without my permission. Now all of Shungjin knows that we are going to get married. You are truly something." My heart stung seeing the hatred and sarcasm in her eyes, but after a moment I said in a calm voice, "I don't need your permission, because the girl I want to marry is not you." The whole hall burst into laughter. Her friends were doubling over with laughter. "Someone go handle the brother-in-law, or he'll start a new drama for attention in a bit." Wanchin's face grew colder. "Nian Chao, now you're playing emotional games? The marriage between the Su and Nian families is already fixed. If you won't marry me, who will you marry?" Saying this, she came up to me and whispered in my ear, "I can ignore the engagement talk. I can even give you a grand wedding. But remember, I will only register a legal marriage with the man I truly love." I looked at her in surprise. In my past life, Su Wanchin was very obedient. She did whatever the family asked and registered our marriage very quickly. Wait, has she also been reborn? I was still thinking when her cousin, Lin Bei, arrived at the party. As soon as he saw me and Wanchin together, his eyes filled with tears. "Brother Nian Chao, Sister Wanchin, I heard you two are getting married. I didn't bring a gift, but I pray you two are always happy." He couldn't finish his sentence. Lin Bei suddenly started crying. He ran out screaming, "Look, this is all because of you." Wanchin glared at me and ran after him without looking back. A while later, when they returned, their fingers were intertwined. Lin Bei's lips were red and swollen, and there was a gleaming love bite on Wanchin's neck. Everyone at the party was watching me with gossiping eyes, as if waiting for me to explode in anger. Wanchin instinctively hid Lin Bei behind her, as if afraid of my reaction. But several minutes passed, and I remained completely calm. Wanchin was stunned for a moment, then said with a faint laugh, "Nian Chao, it seems you have really matured. You don't cause dramas without thinking like before." After the party ended, she stopped me. "It's too late. It's not safe. Let me drop you home." I didn't refuse, but as I was crossing the front seat to sit in the back, Wanchin stood blocking the car door before me. "You sit in the back." Saying this, she protectively seated Lin Bei in the front passenger seat. Lin Bei said innocently, "Sorry, Brother Nian Chao. Sister Wanchin is just worried about me. She was afraid I might get car sick. That's why she didn't say anything." During the journey, Wanchin and Lin Bei were laughing and joking in front. Suddenly, Lin Bei pouted and said he wanted to fix Wanchin's lipstick. They looked into each other's eyes. The distance between them slowly closed until their breaths became tangled and heavy. The next second, as if Wanchin remembered I was in the car, she pulled back quickly. But when she saw that I was just looking out the window without any reaction, she froze. For some reason, her face darkened. Then she silently started the car. After reaching home, she still seemed different from usual. She stopped me again and handed me a bracelet. Her tone was as if she were doing me a favor. "Stop this fake indifferent act. Consider this our engagement gift. Just be obedient. I will give you a grand wedding. At least for the sake of reputation, all of Shungjin will consider you my husband." I looked at her and asked, "So the man you really want to register your marriage with is Lin Bei?" Wanchin became angry, but there was a strange joy on her face, as if her secret had been caught. "I knew you were just acting." Then she warned me in a cold voice, "Remember, this matter should never reach the ears of both families' parents. The relationship between us is not something you can understand." Wanchin's voice is cold, but Li Bei is gentle and kind, not pathetic and selfish like you. If you hurt him, remember, I won't even find it necessary to have a namesake marriage with you. I laughed. Clearly, Li Bei was the coward who could never confess his feelings in front of the Su family, and now everything was my fault. So now I became the villain. I didn't find it necessary to respond further and went straight home. As soon as I entered, a video sent by Li Bei appeared on my phone. In the video, Wanchin was lovingly putting a watch on his wrist. Then I realized that the bracelet she gave me as an engagement gift a while ago was actually a free complimentary item with that expensive watch. The next second, they stared at each other, then started kissing. The wet kissing sounds inside the car echoed, which grated on my ears. Li Bei looked at the camera and smiled. Brother Nian Chao, Sister Wanchin must have told you everything, right? After the wedding ceremony with you, she will register the legal marriage with me. Anyway, a marriage that the law doesn't recognize doesn't have property inheritance rights either. In the past life, you were the husband of the richest man. This time, it's my turn. I was shocked. Li Bei was also reborn. Now I understood why they acted like strangers in my past life. And in this life, they had crossed all boundaries as lovers in just 2 days. I remembered my past life. As soon as I officially married into the Su family, the Su group started receiving countless business deals. Orders poured in, and the company's wealth soared. In no time, the Su family became the richest family in Shenzhen. The elders of the Su family thought I had a prosperous husband destiny, meaning the family I married into would be blessed with good fortune. That's why everyone liked me so much. Everyone treated me very well. That's why even though Wanchin was always cold and distant with me, I still considered myself happy. Then my mother came into my room and said, Su Yan is returning to the country in 5 days. I was a bit surprised. I didn't expect our arranged marriage to progress so smoothly. After all, in my past life, Wanchin's younger sister, Su Yan, remained unmarried her entire life. I only remember that she was a very strange and caring girl. Marrying her felt much more peaceful than marrying anyone else. The next day, early in the morning, I reached the secret greenhouse on the company's rooftop. I had grown all the flowers here that Wanchin liked, just to impress her. Earlier, my whole world revolved only around her, so every flower in the greenhouse was of her liking. But now, the woman I wanted to marry had changed, so naturally I had to redecorate this place according to my future wife's taste. After several days of hard work, I finally renovated the whole flower house, exactly in the style that Su-Yan liked. While resting in the break room, I suddenly saw Li Bei's post. In the photo, my secret greenhouse was completely destroyed. The flower stalks were broken, and all the flowers were scattered on the ground. In the middle of the photo, Li Bei and Su Wanchin were posing happily. Li Bei made a victory sign to the camera. The caption read, Sister Wanchin knew I didn't have a good place to take photos, so she specifically found such a beautiful place for me. Having a secret spoiled is truly an amazing feeling. My heart sank. I rushed to the greenhouse immediately. Upon arriving, I saw Wanchin plucking an orchid I had grown and putting it behind her ear. I shouted in anger, Li Bei, this is my greenhouse. By what right did you both come here? You destroyed my secret place. Li Bei looked at me and immediately started acting scared. His eyes filled with tears. Sister Wanchin, did Li Bei do something wrong? Why is Brother Nian Chao so angry? Wanchin immediately shielded him behind her and looked at me coldly. These flowers were grown to impress me anyway, right? I am already bored of seeing your old-fashioned chasing tricks. If Li Bei is taking some photos here, what is the problem? I couldn't believe her shamelessness. When did I say these flowers are for you? I prepared all this for my future wife. Wanchin just laughed sarcastically. Stop it, Nian Chao. I am your future wife. I have already agreed to marry you. If you act too much, you'll spoil the fun. I looked at the scattered petals on the ground. My eyes began to sting. Just then, some workers brought in large sunflower bouquets. Sunflowers were Li's favorite flower. As soon as the pollen spread in the air, my breathing became labored. My face turned red. I had a severe allergy to sunflower pollen, and Wanchin had always known this. But now, her attention wasn't on me at all. She was just giving instructions to the workers where to place the flowers. In her eyes, there was only Li Bei, who was shining with joy standing among the flowers. Suddenly, Li Bei made a small sound. Ah, it seems Brother Nian Chao's rose thorns pricked me. Wanchin's face was instantly filled with tension. She quickly grabbed his hand to check. The next second, she turned toward me and shouted in anger, Your flowers are poisonous and dangerous just like you. If Li Bei gets an infection, I will never forgive you. Saying this, she didn't even look at me. I was coughing heavily, reaching out for help, but she brutally shoved my hand away. Then, in a panic, she left with Li Bei immediately. She left me behind. She left with Li Bei, but I don't know how long it took for me to come out of that suffocating greenhouse. Everything that had just happened had completely chilled my heart. Before, I thought Wanchin just didn't love me, but now I understood that between me and Li Bei, she didn't value my life even more than a useless thing. Good. I was never going to make her my wife again. After composing myself for quite a while, I slowly stood up. Tonight was Su Muyan's official family introduction dinner. It was the first meeting. At least I had to leave a good impression in front of her. Mentally preparing myself, I went to the basement parking. There I saw a car shaking slightly in the distance. But upon going closer, I saw it was Wanchin's Mercedes. The driver's side window was half open, and inside, Wanchin was sitting on Li Bei's lap. Her eyes were glazed, and she was constantly moving on top of him. I already knew she didn't love me, yet seeing this scene made my heart ache again. Just then, Wanchin opened her eyes and looked at me. There was panic in her eyes for just a second, but the next second, she grabbed Li Bei's hair tightly and started kissing him even deeper, as if she wanted to hurt me on purpose. Her movements became even more intense. Li Bei's stifled, strange noises were echoing through the parking lot. I closed my eyes and sat straight in my car and headed towards the Su family mansion. But I absolutely didn't expect that we would reach there at the same time. It seems Li Bei couldn't last very long. When Wanchin got out of the car, the used tissues and other things were clearly visible on the passenger seat. Her eyes fell on the gift I was holding. The awkward expression on her face instantly turned into a smug smile. "You brought a gift for me too? Give it here." I was afraid she would snatch it by force again, so I immediately hid the gift behind my back. "This is not for you." Wanchin laughed slightly. "You saw what happened in the parking garage. I know you love me. You can't live without me. But I already told you clearly that the wedding ceremony will be with you. But after the legal marriage registration, Lee will be my real husband. Having a physical relationship between us is normal. Anyway, after the wedding, sometimes he will also stay in our bridal room. You will have to get used to it slowly." I had long ago decided to abandon the idea of marrying her, but I still couldn't believe she could be this shameless. I started to turn away without saying anything, but she grabbed my hand again. "Little Aunt is coming tonight. The entire Su family depends on her, so today's family dinner is very important." As soon as Wanchin finished speaking, she went straight inside the banquet hall and sat down. "I understand I have given you enough respect. If the family elders ask about the marriage registration, just say that you have already registered. And yes, go and apologize to Lee for hurting him this afternoon. Otherwise, I can change my decision at any time." Saying this, she went straight inside the dining hall and sat down. I let out a long sigh. It doesn't matter. Very soon she will find out who I want to marry. I also went inside. Su Muyan hadn't arrived yet. The other elders were already seated in their chairs. I intentionally sat in an empty seat far from Wanchin, which was reserved for Su Muyan. But as soon as Wanchin saw me, she raised her eyebrows, stood up immediately, and came and sat next to me. "You have learned even more drama. The seat was already reserved, yet you are doing drama here." I was just about to say something when the door opened. A gorgeous, graceful girl entered, who was Su Muyan. She was wearing an elegant dress, walking in slowly. Her every step showed aristocratic calmness and nobility. She was not like before. Now she looked even more mature, elegant, and distant. The whole hall stood up. Everyone's eyes were on her, but her eyes went straight to me. When she saw me with Wanchin, there was a slight discomfort in her eyes. I was just about to explain that Wanchin had taken that seat by force, but she was already serving me food. Everything was perfect. Shrimp was carefully peeled, fish bones were cleaned. Everything was exactly to my taste. Her care was so detailed that I just kept eating, and my cheeks puffed up slightly. Just then, the door opened again. Li Bei entered. "Uncle, aunts, hello everyone." His fake, polite voice echoed in the hall. But the faces of the Su family elders instantly turned cold. Li Bei was from an illegitimate background on the Su family's side, and he had no respect in the Shengjin circle. If it weren't for the Su family's face, he wouldn't even be allowed here. Old Master Su's face hardened, and he was almost about to scold Li Bei. The atmosphere in the dining hall was already quiet, but everything changed with the Li Bei's arrival. Old Master Su said in a slightly stern voice, "Why did you bring an outsider to a family dinner?" Li Bei's eyes turned red. Feeling humiliated, he silently hid behind Wanchin. Wanchin immediately stood in front of him, protectively covering him, and said, "Li Bei is no outsider. He is Nian Chao's brother, so eventually he became part of the family. It's a family dinner. There is no reason to stop him from coming here." As soon as she finished speaking, her gaze fell on the seat next to me, which was now occupied by Su Muyan. Her face turned cold in an instant, but she couldn't say anything. She was clearly irritated. She was also irritated seeing Su Muyan serving me food. Meanwhile, I received a message on my phone from Wanchin. "What do you mean? You called your aunt here just to bring Li Bei inside to create drama?" I silently locked the phone and didn't even reply. This made her even angrier. Her gaze was as if she wanted to tear me apart. Just then, the Su patriarch raised a glass and said, "The recent engagement that was fixed between our two families, all of Shengjin knows about it. Today's dinner is to formally confirm this. We have finalized the registration and wedding agreements." He was still speaking when Wanchin quickly interrupted him. Dad, the registration is already almost done. We will manage it ourselves. You don't need to worry. Then, looking at me, she said, Nian Chao, say something. There was clearly pressure in her eyes. I was supposed to support her words. I remained silent and lowered my gaze. She got irritated. Then she sent a message. If you continue like this, I will break off the engagement. Don't push me. I picked up my phone and blocked her without any hesitation. As soon as she saw that I was ignoring her, her eyes widened in disbelief. Just then, Su Muyan gently held my hand under the table. Her voice was calm. I fully respect Nian Chao's decision. Whatever he decides, I will accept. The warmth of her hand confused me for a second. Upon hearing this, Wanchen quickly agreed with a forced smile. Yes, Aunt is absolutely right. Dad, you both just wait for our wedding. What we have is enough. The other elders looked at her in surprise. Finally, Sue's father got angry. We are talking about your little aunt's marriage. Why are you interfering? Wanchen still couldn't understand what was happening to her. Little aunt's wedding is going to happen. That's a good thing. Our wedding can also happen together at the right time. This way, there will be more happiness and liveliness in the family, Sue's father said, squinting. What nonsense are you talking about? Which wedding together? No one is even talking about your marriage in the house yet. This wedding is of your little aunt and Nian Chao. You are still a child. Don't create a scene here. Saying this, Sue's father raised his glass towards me with a face full of joy. Oh, I was just thinking that perhaps I wouldn't be able to see my little sister become a bride in this lifetime. Chao, this life is in your name. Only then did Wanchen understand what the matter was. Her face turned stiff, and her voice began to tremble. Dad, you said whose wedding is about to happen? Before Sue's father could answer, Su Muyan held my hand and placed it on the table, and looking straight into Wanchen's eyes, she said, The wedding is mine and Nian Chao's. This is impossible, absolutely impossible. Wanchen suddenly stood up from her chair. The realization of not being able to believe it was clear on her face. Crazy girl, what happened to you tonight? Making a scene at a family dinner for no reason? Do you even have any manners? You are misbehaving with the elders, too. If you create any more trouble, you will be thrown out, Sue's father shouted in anger. Wanchen forcibly suppressed the shock in her heart. She clenched both her hands tightly and bit her lips. After that, throughout the entire family dinner, everyone was talking about the preparations and details of Mai and Su Muyan's wedding. But the whole time, Wanchen's eyes were fixed on me. Even Lin Bei tried to talk to her lovingly several times, but she didn't even notice. When the family dinner ended and everyone started returning home, I forgot my coat. Su Muyan immediately went back to get it. I was waiting for her at the door when suddenly red-eyed Wanchen stopped me and asked, Your engagement is not with me, but with my... Muyan placed my coat on my shoulders and, without hesitation, landed a loud slap across Wanchen's face. Wanchen, who gave you the courage to lay a hand on my fiancé? Blood trickled from the corner of Wanchen's lips. She gritted her teeth, but a strange smile remained on her face. Little aunt, ask anyone in all of Shengjin. Who doesn't know that Yan Qiao has been chasing after me since childhood? You really want to make such a second-hand man your own? Mu Yan's anger flared further. She struck her twice more. It seems you weren't taught manners, so today I will teach you how to behave like a human. If you are sitting in this president's chair, remember that I can seat anyone else in your place. Get out of my sight right now. I noticed that Mu Yan's fingers had turned red from the slaps. I couldn't stop myself and asked, Does your hand hurt? A glimmer of hope sparked in Su Wanchen's eyes for a moment, but when she looked up, she saw that I wasn't looking at her, but was holding Mu Yan's hand, checking her injury. The light in Wanchen's eyes died out in an instant. She looked at me with a profound, unreadable expression, and then walked away. Just then, Lin Bei came out and chased after her, saying he would drop her home. She didn't even seem to hear him. She left Lin Bei behind and drove away on her own. I was busy checking Mu Yan's fingers in a panic, and she was comforting me. I used to chase after Wanchen, but we were never boyfriend and girlfriend, and nothing like that ever happened between us. Mu Yan stroked my hair with a soft smile and chuckled. Don't worry, I won't take that girl's words to heart. I was silently watching her flushed face when suddenly Mu Yan held my hand. Making a pitiful face, she looked at me. My hand still hurts. I don't think I'll be able to drive, and I might not even be able to eat for the next 2 days. I'll need someone to take care of me to recover. Even though she was the CEO of a major company, she rarely cooked for herself. But seeing her childish side, my heart melted. I stroked her head just as she always patiently treated me and said, all right. Then I will take care of you for the next few days. A soft smile appeared on Mu Yan's lips. Thank you in advance, my dear husband. The next few days, Mu Yan and I lived together very happily. Our personalities balanced each other perfectly. We understood and tolerated each other. After just 10 days of living together, we became as close as a couple married for years. That was when I realized what a pity it was that I had wasted so much time loving the wrong person. But a few days later, a message arrived from a close friend. Congratulations, Chow! You chased after Wanchin for so many years and finally got her, right? I heard news of your wedding is coming soon. I can't wait for your wedding feast and celebration. The Su family was a very large and influential clan. They had decided that official information would only be made public after the wedding date was finalized. Therefore, the high society circle of Shengjin still thought I was going to marry Wanchin. Hearing my friend's words, I was stunned. Out of curiosity, I opened Su Wanchin's account, which I had blocked. That was when I saw she had changed her profile picture, cover photo, and pinned post to photos of me. Her status had also changed to something like, "In this life, I only want Chow." It was clear she wanted to show our entire social circle something on purpose. But her actions didn't cause even a ripple in my heart anymore. I remembered clearly how many times I had begged her in my past life. She had never shown her love for me for even a second. And now that she had lost me, she suddenly felt regret and wanted to fix everything. This love of Su Wanchin's was very cheap and worthless to me. That afternoon, I took my employees to the company cafeteria for a simple lunch. We had barely finished half our meal when Lin Bei came running like a madman, pointing his finger at me and shouting, "Yan Qiao, what kind of magic did you cast on Wanchin? She was doing so well, so why did she suddenly start running after you? Now she even wants to break our registered marriage. Why? What is lacking in me? Even if I start things over, will I still be less than you? Why don't you just die?" The next second, Lin Bei snatched someone's bowl of hot soup and raised his hand to throw it at me. But before he could, someone stood in front of me. It was Su Wanchin. She gave me a forced smile as if to say everything was okay, and then she took the hit of the hot soup on her back that Lin Bei had thrown. After ensuring I wasn't hurt at all, Su Wanchin suddenly turned around. Her eyes were filled with deep anger as she looked at Lin Bei. "Who gave you the courage to create such a scene in front of Yan Qiao? You want to hurt him? It seems you don't want to live anymore." Saying this, Wanchin shoved Lin Bei hard. He fell onto the floor with a thud. As he fell, a pregnancy test kit and a pregnancy report, fell out of his pocket. Everyone looked toward them. A colleague picked up the report and covered their mouth in shock. "Oh my God, Miss Su, are you pregnant?" Lin Bei immediately snatched the report back and smiled proudly. Pointing toward Wanchin, he said, "Wanchin, maybe you don't know yet, but I secretly had your blood sample tested. According to the results, you are going to be the mother of my child. Even if you still can't forget Yan Qiao, you will have to marry me now. You will be my wife." Hearing this, Su Wanchin panicked. She immediately turned to me to explain. "No, Qiao, it's not like that. You saw it yourself that day. There were only contraceptives and protection items in my car's passenger seat. I cannot be the mother of his child. He must have been with someone else, and now he is trying to trap me with someone else's pregnancy report." I jerked my hand away from her. I couldn't understand how she had changed so much. "Even if you aren't the pregnant one, do you think you are very pure?" "Su Wanchin, don't discuss me further. I will pay for his treatment, and you don't need to explain anything else. I am not interested in hearing anything." Saying this, I turned and left. After that, Lin Bei decided to stake everything. He thought that since the matter was out in the open, and his reputation was completely ruined anyway, he would try to live in hiding from the Su family in every possible way. He started spreading rumors all over Shengjin that he and Su Wanchin had an affair long ago. He also started saying that they were having a baby, and that they had already decided to register the marriage. When the Su family found out, they immediately called Su Wanchin home. First, they had her undergo a medical checkup. When it was discovered that she was not pregnant at all, the family gave her severe punishment. Her back was already scarred and wounded. After the family's punishment, many more wounds and marks appeared on her body. After resolving their domestic issue, the Su family immediately made the evidence public and threw it in Lin Bei's face. Lin Bei became a laughingstock in Shengjin's upper-class circle. Along with this, the fact that his mother was a homewrecker, just like him, also came to light. Like mother, like son, and this made Lin Bei an even bigger joke. Mu Yan was worried that I would be troubled by all this chaos, so she intentionally started spending a lot of time with me. She would take me to different places so my mood would lighten. She was always afraid that I might get depressed. I would just pull her tightly into my arms. "I'm not that depressed. I just regret that I ever loved such a person and wasted such precious years of my entire life." Mu Yan hugged me back and kissed my forehead lovingly. "It's okay. I'm here now, aren't I? I will fulfill every happiness of yours in the coming years myself." Then my birthday night arrived. Mu Yan had booked a garden restaurant in the city square completely. I thought she just wanted to celebrate my birthday. But suddenly, words began to shine on the giant screen of the building across from us. "Yan Xiao, will you marry me?" Hundreds of drones began to fly in the sky, sometimes forming the shape of a heart, sometimes a ring, sometimes Cupid's arrow, and other symbols of love. Then Muyan knelt before me with a ring. Her friends also came out from their hiding spots and started clapping. Muyan looked at me and said, Yan Xiao, today as Muyan, I want to ask you a question in my own way. Yan Xiao, would you like to marry me? My eyes watered. I nodded with complete certainty. I am ready, Miss Su Muyan. I took the ring from her hand and put it on her finger. Under the starlit sky and amidst the blessings and applause of friends, we shared a deep and loving kiss, and in that moment, our eyes held only the image of each other. Soon, the day arrived when my marriage with Muyan was to officially take place. When it was time for the ring exchange, Wanqin, who was actually at home recovering from her wounds, suddenly barged into the wedding hall. Yan Qiao, you cannot marry her. Miss Su was furious. She immediately ordered the bodyguards to hold Wanqin back and, pointing her finger at her, scolded, Shameless girl, today is the most joyful day of your little aunt's wedding, and why have you come here to create a scene? Get down immediately and forget about the CEO's chair of the Su group.